Hi, my name is Annika Voltan. I'm the Executive Director of IONS, or Impact Organizations of Nova Scotia, and I'm joined here with Nick Mumberket, who's the CEO of Newground Financial. And we're here today to talk about a partnership between IONS and Newground and Community Services Benefits Trust about a unique offering for health plans for community impact organizations in Nova Scotia. And we know that benefits are not offered by many organizations in our sector. In fact, only about 47% have access to health and dental plans at the moment. And much fewer, about 25%, have access to retirement and pension benefits. So IONS wants to do something to help those of you who are looking for more benefits for your staff, especially in this time when recruitment and retention are so critical. And we need to start to address the disparities and inequities between our sector and other sectors, such as private and public. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
And can you tell us from your perspective why this plan is so important for the sector?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one that, really understands the sector. So at Newground Financial, we represent multiple insurance carriers, and if it's for profit or for impact, we choose specific carriers for each organization that fits them. And it's been over 7 years that we've been working with the CSBT now, and sort of growing our base and impact. And what's ease of use, stability in pricing, understanding of a sector is really important, and things that we think about as a broker when we're having discussions with an organization to determine which plan works best for them. And again, those three things are generally hit out of the ballpark every time we use CSBT as an option for an organization. So it can be an organization that is one that is started within the past couple of years, and it doesn't have benefits, as you had mentioned, and are looking to navigate the landscape. So oftentimes the executive directors or CEOs are sitting there wondering, is there something for us, or, oh, we're too small, or it's too expensive. And 9 times out of 10, when we work with the CSBT to create a tailored plan for these organizations, we can come up with a solution that works for them at whatever stage they are, be it startup, growth, maturity in the sector. So I think that flexibility and sort of lack of cookie cutter solution really makes it possible for the CSBT to serve the sector in a great way.
Yeah, and as you know, a lot of organizations in the sector are very small, and funding and predictability of funding are big issues. So can you talk a little bit more about that piece around stability of pricing?
Absolutely, yeah. So, it can come down to a handful of things, and really first is plan design, and that's where having us as, the local expert and understanding what's happening with the organization and also to creating a plan that fits for them can help with that. But more importantly, I think with the CSBT, as you're part of this larger group, with some of the other insurance carriers, or a lot of them, it's your organization, your 3 employees or your 50 employees, and the insurance carrier, and that's kind of what ends up determining your rates. Whereas the CSBT, you're part of a pool, you're part of something bigger, almost 1,900 organizations and 45,000 employees from coast to coast. That means that when your plan comes up for renewal, you're not only underwritten based on your own experience, but that of the larger greater good. So you're taking advantage of economies of scale, and that has proven through our tenure in working with the CSBT and our clients that their rates have been stable. We're not here to promise that you're never going to get an increase or anything like that, but what we know is those increases are mitigated significantly if you were to be direct with an insurance carrier.
Yeah, that was a big draw for IONS in joining the plan as well.
Yeah.
So, and I guess from your perspective, what do you hope will be the positive impact of this as more organizations start to join?
Yeah, it's sort of a mission of our own, and why really when we started Newground Financial was how can we impact the community we worked in, and I spent a lot of time volunteering and working in the sector until I had a whole bunch of kids and didn't really have time to do that. And then I thought of one way that I can give back is for us to really focus and work with an organization that, in my opinion, in our industry has sort of overlooked the sector. And or worked with it, but not really focused on how can we make the best, program, give the best advice, educate plan administrators and EDs, executive directors, on how to really understand how benefit plans work, so that then it can work for their employees who then serve our community. So it's a goal of ours to really work with as many or all of the organizations we can here in Nova Scotia and continue to branch that out. But giving back to our community is very important, and I think that we can do that by offering the best benefits plan we can for the organizations that serve the most vulnerable people in our community.
And thanks for joining me today with my conversation with Nick Mumberket and learning more about all the great things to come with the CSBT plan.